Here we go. What's your self-talk? All right, now, you may see it looks a little bit different where I'm at right now, and all that is actually for your benefit. But first of all, you got to ask that really important question. How did you overcome your insecurities? And why is that important for you to overcome those insecurities? Hey, how you doing? My name is Jahbari McLennan. If you're not familiar with me, I focus on where you are and where you want to go. And I do that by asking this really important question. What's your self-talk? And before I even get into today's session, I want you to just, if you even see the replay of this, I want you to put below, and what is something that you want to accomplish this month? It's a new month. It's May. So what are things that you know that you want to do? Maybe it's you want to finish school strong. You want to finish with maybe 3.5 GPA. Maybe you want to pass all your exam. Maybe you want to make sure that you can study and get all the studying in for your exam. Maybe you want to start that losing weight program. Maybe you want to start a business. I challenge you, just what is something that you want to do that's going to make you better to getting from where you are to where you want to go. So just make sure, comment below, and I'll ask you that consistently throughout today's show. But so as we talk about our insecurities, it's a couple things that we have to identify and see what we need to do to get better, because we want to have more confidence in ourselves. When you have more confidence, you can be more confident about what you're going to do and why you're going to do what you're going to do. But most people overlook this real simple fact. So let's tap into, what is insecurities and why do we need to learn how to identify and define them before we can really understand how to overcome them. You can only be better at what you know where you're at, and you know what you need to get better at. So we define insecurity is, that lack of confidence, or it's the being anxious about anything that you want to do, or you think about what everybody's thinking about you, and it's all inside your mind. It's all in you being uncertain about yourself. See, insecurity is something that you are struggling with. It's something that you are keeping inside your mind. It's something that you are the only one that you are aware of, unless you tell somebody else. We'll get to that in a minute. But if you don't tell somebody else about what's going on through your mind, what's going on through your brain, then sometimes you feel like you're alone. And today, in May, I actually found out that this month is Mental Health Month. And so I've had a chance to listen to a few podcasts, and one of the guys was talking about, how this is so important, how to have mental health, how to mentally strengthen ourselves, how to make sure that we are providing the right mental health for our body, because how we feel in our body affects what we think and how we feel about ourselves, right? If you're overweight, you don't have a lot of confidence in yourself. You don't have a lot of confidence in your skin. So in saying that for this month, I want you to start reaching out and maybe looking at some of those things that maybe you technically wouldn't take the time out to look at, because you don't want people to think that you're weak, or you don't want people to think about you a certain way. Once again, go back to the definition of insecurity. It's all about your lack of confidence. So the opposite of that is that you want to gain confidence. In order to gain confidence, you have to be willing to reach out to those who've been through your shoes. You have to be willing to reach out to those who have struggled with what they're going through. And they've got to a point where they are not comfortable in their skin, and they can talk about it, just like me. So one of the things that I've always used to struggle with is I struggle with who I am. I struggle with being that positive influence of God that you always see here. But the reality is, I'm stuck in my head all the time. I'm always thinking about, oh man, I got to do this, I got to do that. If I don't get this done, then I'm going to feel bad. One thing you probably see about me all the time, I always post me working out. Because after I'm finished working out, I feel much better. I'm much more excited about accomplishing something. That was my one goal. And also, 3, is that I needed to come to you, and I just want to ask you that really important question: what's your self-talk? And after I finished working out, I just tell you some thoughts I was having while I was working out. Why? Because once you start working out, and especially a high-intense workout that I'm doing, is you constantly you don't want to finish it, or you want to quit, or you don't want to follow through with what you say you're going to do. But that's my goal, is to follow through with that workout and then come to you and inspire you with whatever I was telling myself. So just so you know, is I am that person that are constantly thinking in my head and putting stuff in my mind that sometimes is not resonating with the goals I want, So I'm always asking myself, what's my self-talk mentally? What I need to do throughout my house, what I need to do throughout my home. So that really goes into the next session. But before I even get there, once again, I want you to really target what is something you want to get better at. If you want to lose weight, the one thing I've started this month is a better eating program so that I can consistently lose weight and lose weight where I am trim in the right areas and I feel more comfortable in my skin. So what is you want to do? Like I said, maybe it's that GPA. You want to make sure you finish with that GPA that's 3.5, 3.8, whatever that is. Or maybe you want to start the business. Or maybe you just need to simply sign up for a course that's going to help you get better at starting your business. So what is that? Like, I really want you to comment below and just tell me what is something that you want to get better at, so therefore you can grow your self-talk and you can get better instead of staying stuck where you're at. All right, so next I want to talk about your insecurities is invisible. Now, I talked about this just a minute ago, where you are in your head. And this is the battle that most people don't talk about, because, once again, you don't know what somebody's going to think about you. You don't want people to know what you're thinking in your mind, right? Because if somebody knows, did you just think, is that what you just thought? Your confidence will even go even lower, right? So, but this is why I want to point this out, is that your insecurities are so in your mind, other people don't know that. And although you filter, once you filter your mind through your insecurities, if you're doing something, you're thinking somebody thinks something the way you think about it, but they think about it the completely opposite way. So let me see if I can find an example. So say, for instance, you go out and you want to give a speech, like I do all the time, and I do work on this. And when I give a speech, you don't know what's next in my speech. You don't know if it's right or wrong. But once I say something and I know that's not what I wanted to say, I can beat myself up. And I may even say something like, oh man, sorry about that. And you're like, well, what are you sorry for? And you're just like, well, I don't know you should be sorry about what you said. Even if I said something out of order from the way that I prepared it, that have nothing to do with how you perceived it. You were just interrupted and you was just like, oh, I was following along with you, man. So it's small examples like that that you have to start identifying for yourself. And for me as well. Another insecurity I have is I have to work on my grammar. I have to work on how I say things. And once I do that in a better way and think about what I'm going to say before I say it, then my point comes across much clearer. And I've had people reach out to me and they say, hey man, great point. Make sure you edit this. Make sure you edit that. And I have to get better at that. I know that. But that's not going to stop me from continuing to post, continuing to write, and doing the things that I want to do to help you go from where you are to where you want to go. Is it in my mind? Yes. But what I need to do, I need to keep doing it and then seeing the things that I need to do better. I'm going to go back and watch this. And I'm going to say, okay, what did I do? You know, how's my hand movements? You know, how was my body language? When I explained or gave an example, did it come through well? You know, maybe I need to prepare better before I go live. So I want you to think about going out and doing it, making the mistakes, and getting out of your head is so much better. And that really is what leads to the third one. The third point, which is so critical. But once again, before I even go to there, I really want you to dig deep and find out what is something that you want to do. Just start this month. Even if it was something at the beginning of the year, it was one of your, you know, those New Year's resolutions. And how far away are you from them? Can you maybe go find something that you say you want to do at the beginning of the year and start doing that now? And then the most important thing is the third part that I want to talk to you about is how do you overcome your insecurities? Now, I've already gave you a little peek inside it, but it's just to do the opposite of it. Don't stay in your head. If you don't think you can do something, the only way you're going to find out is when you go for it. Like, prime example, me and my wife, we have a real estate company, and we started that last year, and I was so in my head. I had so many insecurities. I was like, what is this going to happen? What if somebody call me about a toilet that's broken? I don't want somebody calling me a toilet. Like, it's just constantly these things, you know, that false evidence appearing where I'm in my head. It's invisible. Nobody knows I'm thinking this, but it's still stopping me from moving forward. And I just got to the point, I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then I started looking back. I'm like, wow, it's not actually that bad. And actually, I learned by talking to the right people, communicating with the right people, I now have better results and I have great tenants, but also they enjoy me because I treat them as the people that they are and not, you know, like a rent or a credit score. So it's going out and doing it going out and say, hey, I struggled at this, but I'm going to do it anyways. And the only reason you commit to doing it is because you personally want to get better. And you want people to see where you're at in your journey. That's why I started off saying episode 1. Now this is episode 2 for What's Your Self-Talk, Overcoming Your Insecurities. Because that's just mine. I'm always in my head. I'm always thinking about it. So anytime you see me ask that question, what's your self-talk? I'm asking myself that question before I'm asking you that question. And I have to answer that question before you can answer that question so I can understand how to help you. So I really want you to just go back and listen to this again. What we talked about is do you define your insecurities, understand your insecurities are invisible, and then how to overcome your insecurities. Remember, you cannot get better at that third one if you don't understand what you're not good at. All your insecurities is you just lack the confidence. It is you're anxious and you're uncertain about something. And when you're uncertain about something, that means you need to learn something else. And if you're not willing to learn something else, then what happened? You stay in that insecurity. You stay lack of confidence. And that's a choice as well. But if you're here, I know you're choosing to get better. So I want you to go through life, and I want you to continue to ask yourself that question. But before you do, just say, what is one thing I want to do this month? This month, what is something you want to do? And if not this month, what is something you want to do before the year's out? But I encourage you just to put one thing. What is one thing? What's mine? Every week coming to you, posting this show, and continue to get better and continue to give you better quality. I must say I had a great opportunity to work with today and give an interview with just my story. And the person behind the camera, you can't see him, but he was awesome just having this set up that I'm in right now, and a great buddy of mine. So love everything, love their purpose, love the calling that they're standing for. And it's just continuing to find those people who stand for that purpose that you want to stand for, that purpose that you want to stand for. All right. So thank you for joining. And if you have any questions, please chime in or leave me a comment. Share this with one person. Who is somebody that you think that will find this beneficial? But like always, until next time, I want you to challenge yourself and ask that really important question. What's your self-talk? Thank you.
Come on, man. What's your self-talk?
What's your self-talk?
What up, what up? What's your self-talk?
What's your self-talk?
What's your self-talk?
What's your self-talk?